Oh god. Oh, someone got killed out of the air. Okay. Got it, chief. Moldy Starbucks. What kind of a Twitch name is that? Alright, so this is a build fight analysis between myself and Moldy Starbucks TV. An interesting name. This was a build fight where we actually had high ground over the player, and it escalated pretty high. So there's actually a decent amount to take away from here because we both had fairly good moves and edits and all that. But yeah, let's jump into it here. So here is me. Oh god. Thanks, game. Let me actually get the drone free at the right place. Here we go. Let me just bring this guy in a little bit. Alright, so here are the two players. You can see I have high ground here. We built up. And the player is in the box healing. They just finished a fight, which is why you see some loot on the outside there. I turned around because there was that bug where I guess someone died out of the air with the glider, so the glider noise was there. But anyways, we knew that they were in the box because on the way down we did see fresh building. As you can see there, their structure wasn't fully built, so we tried to initiate here. The way we approach this is by the standard spam on the off chance that maybe they wouldn't be paying attention and we could get some shots in. But of course maintaining that high ground because, as always, maintaining high ground is important. Also, thanks, replay thing, for hecking me. I actually did replace their pyramid with my own on the top of the box there. I tried to go for that quick replace, but the player, instead of staying in and turtling and spamming builds, they decided to edit out the side, which is actually the smart play by them, and use it as an opportunity to try to take high ground. So while I'm editing this pyramid, they're getting out. They actually are able to use that to really quickly turn around and maybe not necessarily get high ground, but definitely get like an even level with me, which is a very smart play by them. So they actually do take high ground at this point, and I know that I need to retake. And I also knew that I had this structure here because I was standing on it earlier on in the fight as a ways for me to try to safely retake high ground, because I had both this floor as well as the ramp that would be above me, which you can see will appear right about there. Oh, I guess I actually chose to not go for it, but probably should have done. That way if they shot down, we would have had 2 layers of protection. But my focus right now is trying to retake high ground. So we ramp up, we do our quick turnaround, and the player is doing what I did in the previous analysis video, which is kind of just waiting. They're trying to react. They're trying to see where the player underneath them is going and then building in that direction. So they see now that I'm building towards the east, so they face the east, and we now have our face-off here. And we've talked about this before, where both of the ramps go towards each other, and it's all about cutting off the other player and using that as an opportunity to get high ground. The player there does ramp over me, and I actually jump here to try to pyramid, but because I was at the top of the ramp, I couldn't actually get the pyramid off. So the player instead just decides to keep maintaining high ground, and I go for the full reset out to the side here, again with the double ramps. Now here I didn't want to go too far because I knew that the player had high ground over me, and they could very easily shoot out the ramp and I would fall, and I guess I could have caught myself, but I probably wouldn't have reacted in time, and from this height, even at full HP, I'm dying, right? So the player, again, doing the same exact thing, just kind of keeping high ground, seeing the going, and then ramping over, which is very, very common in these build fights. This will happen a lot, and it's a very smart play because it gives you a chance to, as the player with high ground, maintain that high ground, and also gives you the opportunity to kind of sneak in some shots if the player underneath you isn't really paying attention or covering themselves up. So we actually try to go for the pyramid here. It doesn't work because they are right on the edge, as you can see, but I wanted to go for it, and then I boxed in all the sides to go for the trap kill, if possible. But again, the player is on top, so that didn't work, so I decided to again go for a reset. And at this point, we're actually in a pretty good spot because the player was about 2 grids above us, but because they've just been kind of dancing around on top of this pyramid, we caught up. And so here we actually get a turnaround, and for the first time in the whole fight, we suddenly have high ground. And this is due to this player losing track of where we were, which is why you really want to make sure you're keeping track of that low ground player, because it only takes, you know, a few simple moves to take high ground out from over them. And so here, they actually pyramid me off, which is a very smart play by them. So good on them for doing that. And then they immediately build out to the side to retake high ground. And I use this little pyramid. So this is actually a really good strat that I feel like you should practice. If you're on top of a pyramid like this, you can actually wall and jump and then floor, and that's faster, or at the very least the same speed as building a ramp, and you don't actually have to go any direction. You can just go straight up. You don't have to go out to a side. So anyways, we do that, and now we're pretty much at the most neutral that you can possibly be at here. We're both on the same exact height, and there's a wall in front of us. So this is really about who can ramp over who the fastest. And this time I actually got the ramp over. And here I saw this as an opportunity to win the fight, because I had my pump shotgun out here, and I wanted to pull out a quick edit on the ramp, drop down, hit him with the shot, and end this fight right here. And so, especially because they pyramided me again, I knew that that was the right move. Pyramiding me here actually didn't matter too much, because I was planning on dropping down anyways. So there's the edit. And here, I think we actually just have a pretty much straight up gunfight. We do, yeah, so I got good opening shots with the shotgun, or a good opening shot rather, and then we get the drum gun for cleanup, and boom, there it is. That is a quick build fight. So I guess a few takeaways from here are, again, this pyramid move where I was on top of the pyramid, I put a wall on, it doesn't matter which side, any side, but I put it right here, and then I jumped up and floored. That's a very strong move to learn. It's kind of hard to get it in your, like, your mental, like, understanding of all the moves you can do in a build fight, but this is very important. So learn that if you didn't already know it. Pyramiding is important, and again, this is just another good example of both how strong the double ramp can be, because you can see there's just double ramps all over the place here, as well as if you are high ground, paying very, very close attention to where the person beneath you might go. Quick edits on the stairs also is another good takeaway here. Sometimes the best move, especially when you get pyramided, if you can react in time, is to just edit down. Because if the player's underneath you, you're going to dodge the traps they're going to put up, they're going to get caught off guard, and you'll go from a situation of them successfully cutting you off and killing you with a trap to you jumping on them and getting the kill before they can react. So, that is our takeaway. Good build fight. We're done here. We're done here.